Good evening, Hannah Peel.
Hello, how you doing?
Very sweaty, how are you?
It's very hot in here. Yeah, and we're inside and meeting lots of people. It's amazing to be back.
To be back. And your first Mercury Prize.
Yes, oh my God, yeah. Yeah, I've been, playing music and with other artists, like from sessioning to do my own records for probably the last 15 years. And it's amazing to be here in my own right as a solo artist.
What do you think it is about this record that's captured people's imagination?
I think maybe it's just come at a time when people had time to sit at home and listen to music and listen to the album form and celebrate those voices that have been unheard. Like it references a lot of the radiophonic workshop in Delia, Derbyshire in the 70s, this album. And I think that those unheard voices that were unearthed through archives and allowed to breathe, I think has probably touched quite a lot of people, and especially because the record is really forward-looking. It's not retrospective, it is about the future, and I guess acknowledging our kind of eco-climate things that are happening right now. So maybe, all those things combined together, everybody's just said, okay, this record is something we'll listen to.
People underestimate that electronic music was basically shaped entirely by female artists. Well, not entirely, but so they were such a significant part of the electronic music as we know it today.
Massive, yeah. And I think those artists in themselves had a lot to deal with, and a lot of times were ignored. And it's amazing now that we can celebrate them and actually look forward to inspiring other female artists to make electronic music. Because I find electronic music is not cold, it is full of passion. Those sound waves are like an orchestra. There's no reason why a synthesizer should be separate from a violin. If you find the right textures, they can work and they can do it together. And I guess this record has an element of classical orchestration in some senses, because it molds and it shifts and it shapes, and it's not done to BPMs and clicks, and it's very fluid.
And you mentioned the environmental aspect there. How important is it that plays into your music, and do you feel as if the music industry at large is doing enough?
No, I don't think we're doing enough. I think there's a lot more we could be doing, especially the majors and the big industry players. We all need to do something about it. I guess the one question that is happening at the moment is, what can we do? Because it's easy to say, oh, well, let's try touring a little bit differently, or what can we do? But there's so many other options that could be talked about. I'm doing a talk with Brian Eno and Brian Cox on the 23rd of September, and that is all about what we can do working with a group called Earth Percent, and it's all about the music industry and how we can make a difference. And I guess like we had first aid, Live Aid, sorry. I guess when we had Live Aid, it is one of those moments where we need to join together and make a difference.
And are you already thinking about your next record? What can we expect from Hannah Peel next?
Yeah, that's already been made. It's in the proceeds of going out next year, and it's very different again, like every single Hannah Peel record that's ever been released.
What can you tell us about kind of the sound you're exploring this time? And the mood?
I really went to the underground. I've done records that were about space and outer space with brass bands. And I really wanted to kind of do the opposite of that and go to the deeper levels of the earth, like deep time, our roots and our beginnings. And this has a very rooty soul kind of feel. Not soul as in music, I mean like kind of the double bass, the cellos, the bassoons, the earthiness mixed with electronic music and sound worlds.
And finally, if you win tonight, what would you spend the money on?
Well, I self-released this record, and and it's so expensive to do. So it would definitely fund the next record, without any doubt. I mean, I always make music to make more music, and I think that that's really important. I can't ever see myself doing anything else with any money.
Well, Hannah Peel, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Have a good night.
Thank you.